Hey guys, another One Take review, and today I wanted to talk about the new Oliver Tree album, Cowboy Tears. And I wasn't really expecting a lot from this album. It's his most recent, and to be honest, I didn't get a lot, so I guess I got what I expected. I mean, this is his most recent since his retirement. Retirement, I say that with big quotations. And I don't think I'm in the minority. Maybe I am, but I don't think I'm in the minority when I say that his retirement was a pretty obvious fake out, no matter which way you look at it, whether it was the retirement of his first character or his retirement overall as a just performer, a genuine performer. I think it was an obvious fake out either which way, and I mean, Cowboy Tears has proven that. But everyone that had the same train of thought like me and thought that Oliver Tree was just kind of pulling a kiss and saying, "Oh yeah, we're retiring," and then not retiring, kind of ended up being right because this is even if you're thinking of it as being the retirement of that first character on Ugly is Beautiful, it's just an altered version of the same performer that everyone already knows. Now, first of all, I just want to say and get it out of the way, I don't like the character of Oliver Tree. And that's not to say I don't like characters, I don't have a distaste for characters in music. You've got bands like Gorillaz, Steam Powered Giraffe, Daft Punk even, that are just really fantastic groups that have made some outstanding music over the years that are based around characters that they play, whether it's robots in the form of Daft Punk, or even just completely animated fictional people, as in the case with Gorillaz. But the thing with them is that I won't necessarily say that they've constantly reinvented themselves as characters, but they've constantly reinvented themselves musically and also have characters and personas that are likable and engaging. Whereas Oliver Tree has made music that already hasn't really changed, as well as the fact that I just kind of think the character of Oliver Tree is annoying. It's not bad or anything, it's just the fact that Oliver has sort of this repeated whining and self-pitying that, okay, I can dig that for a track or two maybe, but for at least a solid three-quarters of an album, both this and his previous effort, Ugly is Beautiful, as well as kind of his EPs as well, to have that, it just gets very old and stale very quickly. So it's not terrible, but you've got songs like Doormat that are just kind of meant to make me feel some sort of emotion, but they just don't because I don't really like the character of Oliver Tree and the, I suppose, new character that's being presented on Cowboy Tears. The reason that Cowboy Tears is actually an interesting album, at least on paper, is the fact that it was supposed to take, as you may have guessed by the title and the fact that, Oliver's got that cowboy suit on and stuff and on the album cover, is that it was supposed to take country and country pop influences and mix it together with that Oliver Tree sort of alternative pop. It's a very interesting idea, in my opinion, but it just doesn't do much to his initial sound overall, I don't think. And there's got songs here like Balloon Boy that don't even sound like that's the concept Oliver's going for. And I'm not saying that he has to really just hammer it home that he's now going in a country direction, but at the same time, there's no point in saying that you're going in a country direction and calling your album Cowboy Tears and then completely leaving it out of several tracks. And the worst part is, the songs here that aren't really that much country tinged are actually some of the best songs. I can sit through pretty much the majority of this album, but you've got some songs here like California that are just absolutely horrible in every way possible, from mediocre songwriting to vocal performance. It's just terrible. The Villain is another example of that, but it just is almost impressive that an album called Cowboy Tears, which is meant to be pushing Oliver in at least a slightly country direction, can manage to make its most basic concept that it's going for also its worst aspect. And I'm actually kind of glad that he managed to sort of occasionally dodge those aspects of the album because I think this could easily be one of the worst albums I heard so far if it was nothing but those songs on Cowboy Tears. The instrumentals fall pretty flat too, in my opinion. At worst, they sound like royalty-free music that you can just find online on YouTube. I mean, if I wanted to, I could probably like go onto YouTube right now, and if I searched up royalty-free music, if you scrolled far enough, I'm pretty sure you'd get an instrumental from a song like Suitcase Full of Cash or Freaks and Geeks or something similar. But for the most part, they aren't too terrible. The only song here that, as far as instrumentation goes, that stands out to me as just truly god-awful is the song Get Well Soon. That song is just a really misguided attempt to try and mix together like trap and country pop, but it's not bro country like it normally is because it tries to put some like kind of a glitchy sort of overtones to it. It doesn't work at all. And it actually might be one of the worst examples of genre fusion, or at least one of the most unsuccessful examples of genre fusion that I've heard in quite some time. Even still, with Get Well Soon set aside, the instrumentals here aren't terrible. They're not good. You can probably buy something that sounds exactly like most of these instrumentals online for 99 cents, but at the same time, it's nothing that's horribly offensive to my ears. Weirdly enough, what actually kills a lot of the bad songs on this album, which I mean there are actually quite a few, is the fact that there are just so many minor details that really irk me. From the annoying, purposefully slurred yeah yeahs and stuff on Swing and a Miss to the kind of attempting to be meaningful but obnoxiously on the nose lyrics for Cigarettes, there's just some songs on here that have the most minor details that really, I guess, are technically nitpicking, but they're so annoying or frustrating that they completely kill any chance of me enjoying that song, which already really wasn't all that high. But even still, I may be nitpicking, but it's a lot of nitpicking to the point that it almost isn't anymore. I mean, thanks to people like Walker Hayes and Big Crit, I've heard much worse albums this year so far, but at the same time, I don't think Cowboy Tears. I think it might get the record for the most minor grievances I've had about an album in a while, and I mean that's saying something because it's easy for me to get mildly annoyed with something that I'm already going into expecting to not like, but yeah, it just doesn't do anything particularly great. It manages to do a lot of things that are particularly minor but bad. Cowboy Tears is a pretty inoffensive album overall, mediocre. It's perfectly fine, but there are just like enough minor wrongdoings here for me to not want to listen to any of it ever again for the most part. So overall, Cowboy Tears is far from being a decent record or even a half decent record. It's actually pretty awful at times, but at the same time, I don't absolutely despise Oliver Tree like a lot of people do. The character, sure, it's kind of annoying sometimes, but from a musical aspect, it's not always super terrible or anything. The only thing about him that sometimes makes my blood boil is his vocal work, and even then it's not too bad for the most part. Again, there are a couple songs here that really just grate on me, but again, for the most part, he sounds okay here. The album is undeniably bad, but at the same time, it moves me so little that I can't even bring myself to say it's bad, because something bad will at least incite some sort of visceral reaction in me, but this just doesn't. I feel absolutely nothing after listening to this except just a pinch of annoyance. So, I mean, overall, I would have been perfectly happy if Oliver Tree were serious about the whole retirement thing, but unfortunately, he was just pulling everyone's leg. So, with that being said, Cowboy Tears, I'm gonna give it a 2.5 out of 5 stars. I just don't really think it achieves a lot. It's kind of just got a lot of minor details that really bother me for a variety of reasons, and I can't get into it overall for the most part. So yeah, 2.5 out of 5 stars. And with that being said, that's the end of this review, and I will see you guys in the next one.